Am I live? That's the question on everyone's mind. All one people watching this stream. I'm gonna sit patiently until somebody tells me that I'm not talking to myself. Hopefully, I'm talking to the internet and a handful of our coaches that can show up on a Sunday night to watch the replays of the top 8 of the VBL-S Season 4 playoffs. Should I do background music? Chill hop playlist. I don't know if this music shows up. That's the tricky part. Oh my god. Hey folks. So do you hear music? Do you hear music quietly or too loudly or what? I don't know. It's not the most essential part of our experience today, but I don't know how long the delay will be on chat. But chat folks, tell me if anything is screeching in your ears or if anything I think is on the screen is not on the screen. Thank you guys, and good to see you here. I'm gonna put my mic close. Hey hater, what's up? I'm gonna put my mic a little closer. All right, we're gonna do our playoffs. We got 2 of the matches are in. 1 is happening right now. So when I talk, it's quiet. Maybe I can fix that. I'm already loud. I can boom this up a little bit. Choo, 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 coo, coo, ka-choo. Okay, great. Yeah, then I won't make myself too loud. Yo, hater, the forfeits messed you up. You could have scored more points if What's-His-Face didn't forfeit. That's not right. It sucks. Anyway, but back to VBL-S, the league with the most supportive environment where nobody forfeits unless they absolutely have to. We have some really strong coaches in the playoffs. I'm really excited to watch the replays with y'all. I'm going to preview the matches a little bit, but I'm going to try to let the matches speak for themselves. I don't want to overanalyze them too much. I'll maybe talk a little bit about the situation, but we'll let the replays, the matches speak for themselves. Hopefully they're good matches. So we're going to go with BBRAFF, who is in the first seed of the Porygon division, versus Samax in the Lando division. So you see we had 2 conferences. Everyone played each other in the conferences and cross-conference playoffs. So BBRAFF's playing Samax, etc. You'll see. But this matchup, I did advise Samax a little bit, so I know what he's going for, but so it's not a surprise when I'm going to say that Salamence and Rotom are going to be important parts of this matchup. They both have a lot of power, the ability to take down the Spectrier and the Stakataka, which are important pieces to BBRAFF's team. I think Stakataka will be important if BBRAFF can get Trick Room up. But it all comes down to how well BBRAFF can protect his important pieces with the Clefairy. I mean, it could be Guzzlord is the big piece. That's been the MVP of the regular season. It could be Gourgeist setting Trick Room. It could be Spectrier trying to run over everything. I think it'll be a good match. BBRAFF has one of the more extreme teams and was the first seed overall, so Samax has his work cut out for him. Though I think he's got a really good plan, and a couple of people advised him, which is not to say that he will not deserve full credit if he pulls out the win today. But let's jump into it. Okay, so the 6 on Samax's side are Salamence and Rotom, Togetic and Metagross, Umbreon, and Seismitoad. Against on BBRAFF's side, we have the Purloin, a Darmanitan, Gourgeist and Guzzlord sitting next to each other. They were perhaps the most dominating duo of the regular season, and then Spec Clef. Very scary. Let's just see how they lead it. Wait, before I jump into replays, let's just make sure people are happy on the... Okay. Alright, well, nobody seems to say that everything's terrible on the stream, so let's do it, guys. VBL-S top 8. Okay, we have the Salamence Rotom lead versus what looks like a Trick Room setup, right? Purloin has Fake Out, Gourgeist is Trick Room, but it could be something completely different. Oh, and the items are revealed. So we see the Choice Band, so we see the big damage coming from Salamence, and we see a Berry to help Rotom survive. So what's going to happen on turn 1? We have a switch, already an adjustment and a trick. Okay, so now there's an eject button and a sneak. So Rotom is forced out turn 1. It's not the most eventful turn, but it does disrupt what's going on here. They just forced Rotom out, and it's just going to have to be another shot at this turn 2. Ooh, a Choice Band double Wing Beat is a one-hit KO, but Foul Play is really good damage on the Purloin. So Purloin's one of their only ways to do damage is to use your own attack stat against you, and I think Choice Band is applied there, so that did a lot of damage, but that one-hit KO means, I imagine BBRAFF wanted Trick Room at this point, but he was not able to get it. I'm going to adjust and see, in case anyone yelps about chat, I'm going to try to get that on the side here. This is my second time ever streaming. All right, so we have a very passive situation here. Clefairy and Purloin don't do a lot on their own. Foul Play is their only tool of dealing damage. Oh, well, Thunderwave is going to mess things up. And a Moonblast. Clefairy with a KO. Okay, we have a Rain setup into Seismitoad. Very cool, and the Dynamax Seismitoad comes out. That is a one-hit KO. Is that a Life Orb? That is a Life Orb. So we have an offensive Clefairy, cool, and he's going to be stuck Moonblasting because he's taunted right now. Here's the Dynamax Spectrier. The showdown in Rain, that's a 2-hit KO, that's big, big damage. But that's not as big, that's not even half. It helped that Seismitoad in Rain is faster than Spectrier, and that he could get a special defense boost before Spectrier could hit him. Very important there, and the Snarl is going to make the situation worse for BBRAFF. Spectrier, oh, Team Jordan. Hi, BBRAFF. But Seismitoad appears to be cleaning this one up in Game 1. What can he do at this point? He's got half special attack. Cool. So this worked out. It was a tricky turn 1, but then Samax was able to get into position. Is Umbreon going to clean it out? Yeah. Umbreon is hashtag Dumbreon. I agree with that. It's a very, very difficult piece to take out. And we see the whole set. So BBRAFF's going to be able to adjust based on seeing that this Umbreon just sits there and yawns at you. We'll go to Game 2 and see what happens in it. I wonder if BBRAFF has more offensive pieces here. You know, Gourgeist, Purloin, and Clef are really not a lot of offense. I'm going to swap it up so we see the same sides. BBRAFF in the far side, Samax on the near side. Let's see what happens. Game 2. Spec Clef, Spec Gourgeist. Here's a potentially more reliable Trick Room setup with redirection. So the items are revealed once again. Frisk, amazing ability in draft. So Weakness Policy and Eviolite. Okay, so we have Protection for Metagross, who's probably the offensive threat here. So Protect and a Yawn. Samax is just yawning at us all day. But they did get the Trick Room up, so that changes the game significantly relative to Game 1. Okay, some damage, but ooh, an Iron Defense. What is taking out Metagross with double defense? If Guzzlord is physical, then it's going to be a real challenge to break through this Metagross. But it could be physical or special. An ally switch, the cheeky ally switch. He can beat the Togetic, but can you beat this angry TI-84 at full health and double defense? Ooh, okay, ally switch really paid off there, because Gourgeist can resist the max Quake. A switch into Clefairy, we're going to see Max Guard? No, we're going to see the shot. Oh, okay, so with the attack boost, still not enough to KO the hashtag Dumbreon. More yawns. Ace Focus Sash, Clefairy. Unfortunately, it's going to die to the Sandstorm. Unfortunate. Interesting text. Sash and Clefairy can be good, but Metagross bracing itself for the Darmanitan here. Oh, but Darmanitan goes into Togetic, so now he's just neutralizing one of Guzzlord's max turns, and now he's asleep. Okay. So we have 3 Mons on BBRAFF's side, 2 on Samax's side. They both used their Dynamax. Metagross looking like a real insurmountable problem. They're both physical attackers, I think, because I see the attack boosts. So how are they going to break the Metagross? We shall see. That's a lot of damage. Holy crap. Darmanitan. But he's gone. Darmanitan here for a good time, not for a long time. Oh no, and then... Wake up, Guzzlord, what are you doing? So we see the Life Orb, we already knew about it, but... Ice Punch is going to clear it out. Is this going to be a 2-0? Oh man. A lot of offense there from Samax. I cautioned him about having too passive a team, but he found the offense from Metagross, from Seismitoad. Really well played, Samax. I think BBRAFF's game was very positioning dependent, and it just didn't quite work out. So I'm going to be curious. I'm not going to bog the stream down too much, but they did send in their pastes. So we saw that Choice Band Salamence could deal big damage to basically anything it wanted to. We had some supportive Rotom, weakness policy Metagross with Iron Defense, pretty cool, and then this Seismitoad, better than I expected. So Yawn, people are complaining about Yawn, or I like Yawn because it's the only sleep move that isn't dependent on RNG, right? It doesn't have a chance to miss. It always behaves the same way in that they're going to fall asleep next turn, and they have the choice whether they want to fall asleep or switch out most of the time. Now, sleep as a mechanic sucks. It's unfortunately very randomness dependent, but yeah. So I like it from a design perspective that it's not a guess whether they're going to go to sleep or not, but it can really slow the game down. My longest VGC match, or my longest VGC Draft League match, was a 30-turn epic against Chimpact in SPS, where I just yawned him to death with Umbreon, and I maxed on turn like 26. It was so that's not the best viewing experience, I wouldn't say, but it is a good move that it can be very strategic. And so on BBRAFF's side, we saw the Focus Sash Clef, we saw the Trick Eject on the Purloin. Ooh, the Choice Band Darmanitan, that's why it did such huge damage. But the max threats were the physical Guzzlord and the Spectrier, and it seemed like it was positioning dependent, and of course, who could expect the Iron Defense Metagross, I think, was really, really important to the end game. But congrats to Samax, you're moving on to the top 4. Let's jump into the second match, which is some of the teams branded meme teams, but clearly they were not full meme because they both made playoffs, which is HawkeyeBen's Great British Blastoises and PoppinPhresh's Phoenix Suns. I took a look at this match, and I think this really depends on Poppin's ability to take advantage of his immediate speed advantage. He's got the fast mons here. The Regieleki, the fastest mon in the game. Archeops can basically hit everything really hard on Ben's team. Ben random drafted, so you'll kind of see some random picks, but Ben's made it work so far in the regular season. But I don't know a lot of things here that can survive the dreaded Regigigas. Ben's main tool for dealing with the Regigigas is the Urshifu, but it's going to be very positioning dependent. And the Nidoqueen is the main thing that stops Regieleki from doing whatever it wants. So place your predictions in the chat. I'm going to see what people are crowing about. Yeah, so I think Poppin's going to try to go full ham, Regigigas mode, Regieleki super fast mode. That's what I think will happen, but it kind of depends on how Ben decides to pull out the weird tech. Let's jump into the match. Okay, so we see, we see the fast mode, Regigigas, Archeops, Lecky, we see the Claydol, cool, Regirock, and then that Weezing is the centerpiece of Poppin's team in the regular season is hiding right there. So we see both fighting types, Urshifu and Hitmonchan. We see the ground, the Nidoqueen, Skarmory. I don't know how to use Skarmory, so we'll just have to see. And then a Tapu Bulu and Inteleon. So we don't see the Colossal, we don't see Dragonite. So some of Ben's scarier pieces aren't here, but these are fairly capable mons. We're just going to have to see what he decides to go with. Okay. We got to look at this here, because Gigas is not strong unless you get Weezing by its side. So I think Poppin's trying to Volt Switch, swap into Weezing so that Gigas can go ham. But the problem is that Hitmonchan has Fake Out here, so he can prevent this, and you don't want to waste a max turn while Gigas only has half attack power. So he might just do a hard switch, he might protect, maybe he does coaching, and we see a weird Nidoqueen offensive set. Let's see what happens. So he just does the hard switch, and is it going to be max turn 1? Regigigas mode. Okay, yeah, so he was going to stop it. But yeah, that's a very strong play from Ben's perspective, because he knew it was going to be either Regieleki or Weezing there, and either one is weak to Earth Power. But Gigas Go Burr gets the Oko on Hitmonchan. Turn 2. Urshifu is in here. Are we going to see a max guard? Because Weezing could actually deal with the Urshifu on behalf of Regigigas, so we'll see. Ooh, we have a Dynamax Urshifu. Okay, good thing at Dynamax it would have died if not. Oh, and the Dazzling Gleam with the combination. Max Strike reduced the speed, and then Weezing could clean it up. But Nidoqueen's doing a fair amount here. Are we going to see the Max Tapu Bulu? Oh no, we saw the Max Urshifu, and it just got dealt with so quickly. Wow, is that like a choice band? What is it? Life Orb, okay. Okay, but I think we see a 1v2 here. Regigigas is no longer Super Regigigas mode. He has to come back down to reality, but this is going to be a tough matchup. We saw a Reflect from Lecky, cool. But is he going to be able to keep the health up with this Horn Leech? I do not know who wins from this position. Depends how strong Lecky is. Not that strong. Tapu Bulu is still sticking around. I think he has to deal with the Gigas, but then he might not be able to survive another Lecky hit. Does he have Thunderbolt? Okay, so he's going to get a little bit of grassy recovery here, but it all comes down to Bulu Oko. 2%! Kenny Oko! Ooh. But he can't do enough unless he gets a crit here. I think Ben's going to pull out game 1. Close game. Wow, okay, so how does Poppin adjust to this? The idiosyncrasies of Poppin's memes is that he does not have a lot of tools to play defensively. When something is hitting you really hard, he just has to hope that his strong defense stats can survive. But Bulu and Nidoqueen were very scary in that situation. So let's see what happens in game 2. Will we see adjustments from Poppin? Claydol and Regirock, very different mode here. This is going to be a Trick Room setup. Oh, and then we haven't seen the Skarmory yet, so what do we even make of that? Protect and Trick Room? That's good damage. Iron Defense. This is how you take advantage of what looks like a Trick Room setup. You're like, you can get the Trick Room, but I'm just going to boost myself up in the meantime. So how is he going to break a double defense Skarmory? Ooh, we have a weakness policy setup. So Regirock is strong, but I don't see how he beats triple defense Skarmory unless he gets a critical hit. Good damage, and how do you know that there was going to be an attack there? Okay, so Dazzling Gleam on Claydol cleans up Urshifu, but what are you going to do? It's got quad defense. Hopefully, Poppin's got a special attacker in the back. A Lecky, maybe Archeops, but this is looking pretty scary. Oh, quadruple power body press. Regirock is very thick, so he's going to survive, I think, one more. How much did it do? Did 44, so he gets to survive one more, but what's he going to do at this point? because Bulu is pretty scary as well, and he Dynamaxes. Oh man, and now that it's no longer Dynamax, that is... ouch. Okay, so Shukaberry, good bring on Poppin's side. What's he going to do? Oh, quadruple effective Sludge Bomb was good damage there, but that's a Dynamax Bulu right there. What's he going to do? I imagine the fast Archeops was going to target the Bulu, but Skarmory gets one turn to do a quad body press. Where's it going to go? Oh, it goes into Archeops, but it survives. So where are we at this point? We see a 2 on 3. No, we see 3 on 3. Who's left? Claydol? Claydol switched out. Interesting. Okay, so just one more turn of Bulu's Dynamax. An ally switch. Boo, ally switch. But it was effective there because Weezing doubly resists the body press. That's the only way you can deal with the Skarmory is just hope it hits the wrong thing with your ally switch. 2 on 2. Nidoqueen should be imposing here. Yeah, protects. Good protect. A special Archeops. Meteor beams, and that's good damage, but... oh, I think he called the ally switch. But Poppin hit it with protect. Oh man, this is going to come down to the end. Oh, yeah, I think he hit the wrong one here. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. But unless you can deal with the Skarmory, then how do you win? Yeah, Body Press takes this one out, and then, yeah, that's a little bit of damage, but is Nidoqueen going to clean it up? Oh, it's locked. It's locked in with like Specs or something, locked into a move that can't hit Claydol. So it is kind of a 1v1 now, but I don't see what Claydol's supposed to do against Skarmory. It only has Fairy and a move that that Skarmory's immune to. Yeah, okay. Looking like a Ben win unless we get super critical hits. Oh, I wish he had just some different move. But how would you know that it's going to come down to Claydol versus Skarmory? So, an Iron Defense Body Press Skarmory. I didn't know what was going to become. I don't know if Poppin did, but that was a scary Skarmory. Well done, Ben. So far, both Lando Division players have won. Am I going to grade people out? No, I'm gonna do like a little shape. Does anyone know if Tay versus Carboni has finished? If someone would let me know in chat. Oh, Samax, thank you. You gave it to me right away. We'll put a green. Nope, not that. All right, Tay, you gotta stand up for us, Porygon folks. Oh man, look at that sizing. That's perfect. I'll just make it bigger anyway. All right, 2 winners so far. Tay versus Carboni. I see you, Samax. So, Tay subbed in the mid-season for a dropped coach and is 3-0 and was a playoff coach in the previous season. So we're pretty sure Tay is a good coach. And Carboni, this is his first full season. He was a sub-in during season 3, but has had 2 solid performances. They both ended the season 5-2. But Tay had to make do with a pretty good team, but a team that probably wasn't what he wanted, so he changed some things around. He added the Goodra, added the Primarina, some really, really strong special walls, and then he kept the Porygon 2, which is a broken Pokemon and one of our mascots of the league. I think it'll be very important to this match. Tay's got to change up the speed situation because the immediate pressure of Urshifu and Rillaboom seems a little bit too fast for the Goodra, for the Mamoswine, for the Primarina. So he might need Trick Room, or maybe he's just going to sit there in Icy Wind to try to get some fast mode speed control. I'm not sure, but I think the big 2, Urshifu and Rillaboom, are going to be important on our Carboni side. He's got a lot of good pieces. I think Carboni is one of the stronger drafts in the league. So hopefully I don't have to play him next week. No, both of these coaches are strong coaches and strong teams, so we shall see what happens. Okay, replay number 1. Okay, we see Urshifu and Rillaboom standing here, and Alchemy. Alchemy has been underused in VBL-S history, but I think it's amazing because it breaks all your calcs. You think you can survive, but Alchemy doubles your power. and so you're not surviving that. Chandelure, I think, will be a good piece here, good against Corviknight, Gothorita, and Mandibuzz. So he's got good speed control here, a Trick Room option, a Tailwind option, 2 Trick Room options. And then Tay's side, he does have Goodra, but surprisingly no Porygon. So the Trick Room setter is a Mimikyu, but I don't see a lot of super slow mons here, unless we see like an Iron Ball or something. Then this is a team that's equipped to fight in fast mode. You know, Pikachu's got Electro Web, Corviknight's got Tailwind, and then Goodra and Mamoswine are very threatening offensive pieces. If Tay can get the speed control, Mamoswine can do whatever it wants, but we're just gonna have to see what happens. Goodra and Corviknight, fast mode Goodra against a threat of Trick Room. Dynamax Goodra right off the gate, a helping hand. Okay, good damage, but Goodra's gonna have his way. Okay, good. So they're gonna double into Gothorita. This wouldn't have stopped Trick Room, but that's not what Carboni went for. So we're gonna see what happens in turn 2. Thunder Punch is not quite enough, and then the Gothorita is down. Okay, so probably a special Goodra, right? If it's boosting its own special attack. Oh man, that's right down to Focus Sash. So a Sash Urshifu, 1 health left. And then if this guy can max Ooze again, then they're both going to get special attack boosts. I don't see what takes out the Goodra at this point. Maybe Rillaboom, because we have a Dynamax threat. Dynamax Alchemy, okay. Cool, so the Fairy move's going to be good against Goodra, but it's a special attacker. Wow, that was a lot of damage. Life Orb Alchemy, cool, Carboni. But it's looking like when I played Goodra last season, I was on my back foot the entire time. At least he got out the Goodra, so we'll see how much this Alchemy can hold up. I would love it if Alchemy could sweep this whole thing. But Mimikyu does have the built-in disguise, so it's going to last 1 hit. And it heals with its G-Max Finale effect. Oh, that's such good damage and crit. Yeah, I don't see how they do how. Okay, game 1 goes to Tay with the immediate ham Max Goodra with the Life Orb. We don't know what Primarina has, except we know that it's always strong. We had an offensive, at least offensive enough Corviknight and an offensive enough Mimikyu. So just full-on offense from Tay's side of the field. Some support moves from Carboni just couldn't survive the offense. So how is Carboni going to adjust in game 2? That's my question. Game 2. We have a Dynamax Chandelure and a Dynamax Corviknight. This is cool, right? So you put all the emphasis on Goodra. Maybe it just protects now, and now with max Airstreams, this could be really effective at speeding up the Goodra, or just speeding up itself. That's good damage right there. Doubles into the Goodra and takes it out, but Mirror Armor reflects the defense boost back into it. So that's another Focus Sash hit. Turned out to be a good bring here. Because I think, okay, so Corviknight's probably now the fastest thing on the field. It needed to be speed invested if it's going to get past Urshifu, even with the speed boost. But it's going to come down to this. Is he prepared for this situation? Well, we're not going to necessarily see. Oh, man, Corviknight is not fast, even with the speed boost. Chandelure is still faster, and it gets huge damage. That's something. He's trying to establish his fast mode here. This is how Tay takes the speed, is with max Airstream this time. Fake Out is good. Oh, I didn't know I guess he got like Power Trip or something, but he's got the weird Max Darkness, and that was enough for that specific situation. Well played, Tay. And now he's going first, so this is looking scary. Yeah. What's Carboni do now? Rillaboom does have priority, so Primarina is probably going to have to protect here. Oh, we have a Fake Out instead. Can Urshifu finish it out? He had Thunder Punch. Thought he had Thunder Punch in the last game. But yeah, it's going to come down to Rillaboom into Primarina and something else. So Primarina hates Rillaboom. Rillaboom single-handedly took Primarina out of the meta once it had Priority Grassy Glide. Primarina went from popular water type to non-existent water type. It's just whether Mimikyu can hit it hard enough. It's got a defense boost off the Grassy Seed. Okay, yeah. Red the Protect into Primarina, does the knockoff. Expert Belt Mimikyu, so it was offensive Mimikyu. That's some damage, but I don't know if the Mimikyu can pull this out 1v1, because I think he's as good as dead now. Rindo Berry survives, good bring by Tay, and that's it. Tay wins the 2-0. Tay is in the top 4. We have a representative of the Porygon division, and unfortunately I cannot give you my match this week because it hasn't happened yet. I'm having it with James tomorrow, and the match will be out shortly thereafter. But let's look at some pace of the match we just saw. We have 3 winners. I think I could figure out with Mod's confirmation who's playing who at least one of the matches for the semifinals. But let's see some of those brings. We get to see, they didn't necessarily share their pace yet, but we saw Poppin brought the Reflect on the Regieleki, brought some offense on his Weezing. Yeah, this is what we saw. We saw the weakness policy Regigigas. Okay, so the commentary, Goodra's good. I don't think it's the best dragon out there. I'd rather have Garchomp every time. But Goodra was pretty scary in that match against Carboni. Yeah, so I saw that Tay wasn't quite as fast out the gate, but he used max Airstreams, and then he just used an unkillable Goodra to win that. Man, offense. Offense is still good. Offense won Ben the championship last season, and now he's in the semifinals. I imagine our goal was to have cross-conference playoffs where possible. So if I were to win, then it would be, the 2 Porygons versus the 2 Landorus. And if James were to win, then Tay would probably fight the middle Landorus, right? Because the top seed Ben won, but Tay's a middle seed. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be Ben versus Samax in the semifinals. And it's going to be the winner of James versus me against Tay in the semifinals. Is that right? Anyone got Samax, Mr. Mod? Can you confirm? Because we're the middle teams, right? So shouldn't the top seed play the lower seed? I wonder if I'm bopping to music that no one can hear. But guys, thanks for stopping in. I'm really happy that people could watch the matches. I'm happy I could watch the matches. I was waiting until Sunday to do so. But congrats to Tay and the Houston Hawluchas. Congrats to Ben and the Great British Blastoises. The UGA takeover continues. They're VBL-S coaches at this point, but man, these 2 coaches have done well. And Samax, congrats on the win against BBRAFF. Don't go too hard on BBRAFF after 2 straight seasons of dominating the regular season and then immediately losing in the playoffs. Well played to BBRAFF, a good season, despite the loss here. Let's do this. Semifinals starting tomorrow. I'm going to drop the stream. Good evening.